And I just want to say one thing about Matt Gaetz. You compared him to Ross Perot, and shame on you. You should not throw Ross Perot in the sewage lagoon with Matt Gaetz. I would compare him to that toddler that we've all seen at the family barbecue, eating toilet paper, shoving Cheerios up his nose to get attention. Because that's what Matt Gaetz did yesterday, saddling up with all those Democrats.
Well, I didn't go to that barbecue.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and a Fox News panel tore into Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz over his role in removing Kevin McCarthy as Speaker of the House. The House voted 216 to 210 on Tuesday to remove McCarthy as Speaker. 8 Republicans voted with the Democrats to send McCarthy packing. It's the first time a House Speaker has been removed in a no-confidence vote.
Is Matt Gaetz going to make each and every one who wants to be the Speaker come kiss his ring?
Yes.
Yeah, and give him a pedicure maybe in public?
The Fox panel was bashing on Gaetz because he was the one that made the motion to remove McCarthy without having a plan or replacement. The other Republicans that voted against McCarthy cited the reason that he had turned his back on their destructive agendas.
4% decided they were so morally superior, so intellectually pure, so patriotically better, that they would side with the Democrats. We ought to be focusing on Biden. We ought to be focusing on the economy. We ought to be focusing on the border. Instead, you're going to get a week or 10 days of the media focusing on Republican disarray. It's an astonishingly destructive behavior by a handful of egocentric people who think they're superior to 96% of the conference.
McCarthy becomes the first Speaker of the House to be removed by a House vote. He didn't even last a year in the position.
This is the reality of Americans. Child care costs more than college in 28 states. Starter homes, a thing of the past for millennial and Gen Z. U.S. inflation eroded wages as child poverty jumped. Why aren't we addressing these issues? Instead, we are fighting against one another.
That's right. And these same American people, ourselves included, are the ones paying the salaries of those participating in the circus. Optics matters. And as well, so does harnessing this narrative for as we approach the election. This is absolutely appalling what went on under their watch.
The Fox panel tried to pin the blame on the Democrats for voting to remove McCarthy and characterize them as conspirators. But every MAGA moron has been in denial over the ousting, and they want someone to blame.
This is a guy that the media didn't give a time of day to after he was accused of sleeping with an underage girl. And there's a reason why no one in the conference came and defended him, because we had all seen the videos he was showing on the House floor that all of us had walked away of the girls that he had slept with. He'd brag about how he would crush ED medicine and chase it with an energy drink so he could go all night. This is obviously before he got married. All of a sudden he found fame because he opposed the Speaker of the House back in November, and he's always stayed there. And he was never going to leave until he got this last moment of fame by going after a motion to vacate.
It's important to know Congressman Gaetz has never been charged with any sex trafficking crime, and he gave this statement to CNN in response. I don't think Mark Wayne Mullen and I have said 20 words to each other on the House floor. This is a lie from someone who doesn't know me and who is coping with the death of the political career of his friend Kevin. Thoughts and prayers.
Gaetz had been going after McCarthy since January. He and his merry band of nitwits wanted McCarthy to be more inflammatory and abuse his authority more often. Gaetz used a rule that allows any one member of the House to call for a new Speaker election. Representatives Andy Biggs, Ken Buck, and Tim Burkett were among the Republican group that voted against McCarthy. The Fox panel was mad, and host Dagan McDowell said that she would compare Gaetz to the toddler at the family barbecue that eats toilet paper and shoves Cheerios up his nose to get attention. She's spot on with her assessment of Gaetz, but misguided in placing the blame on Democrats. Why would the Democrats rally to support McCarthy when he's done nothing but lie and stab everyone in the back? He ignored the J6 committee. He launched an impeachment inquiry on President Biden without a House vote. He empowered Jim Jordan and James Comer. He is trash and needs to be set out by the curb for pickup. It wouldn't surprise me if Kevin McCarthy and Matt Gaetz resorted to fisticuffs in the future. McCarthy had been dreaming about the Speaker's gavel for his entire career, and just like that, it's over. Matt Gaetz ruined it for him. Jim Jordan has thrown his hat into the ring to take the open spot. Whoever the GOP decides to put in may be as big as a threat as McCarthy was, or even bigger. The majority of Republicans voted against Matt Gaetz and will likely be resentful towards him from here on out. Maybe Matt Gaetz will be hit with that ethics complaint that McCarthy's been threatening him with. Matt Gaetz may have sealed his own fate, and it couldn't happen to a more deserving individual. And that is a fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.